Hello all, we're back for another episode of Gelli Plate Techniques. Today we're going to use some acrylic ink. Now these are Amsterdam acrylic inks. They are you can put them in an airbrush or use a dip pen or that kind of thing with them. You are supposed to shake them, and I have been shaking them. This is a good day to get your exercise. What do I want to say? These I got on clearance, and I have not used them very much, so we're going to play with them on the Gelli Plate today. I also will probably use my spray water bottle, and likely as not, I'm going to need my little fan to dry things in between, and there may be some wait time in between on these prints. I don't know how fast these are going to dry today. It's very wet outside. So, needless to say, these have droppers in them, where you can drip paint. Remember, color theory works here too. So if you combine red and blue, you know, you have to watch your colors because you might get mud. I'm just spraying it with water to spread it out, because then I'm going to roll it around on my plate for the fun of it. Now, we're not going to do anything like wait for this one. What I want to do is pick it up and show you what it looks like all by itself. Now remember too, we put water in there. So what's going to happen is that the paper is going to take up a lot of moisture. This is going to be a very wet print for a while. And we have a nice big ink blob. Okay, and there's a lot of paint left on the plate. So if we want, we can pick some more of that up in our corners where we didn't get it. Now when this dries, it's going to be considerably lighter than that because there's a lot of water in it right now. So that is one way you can use your acrylic plate inks on your plate. Now then, let's clean that up. And let's just drip the paint on. See, here we get bigger blobs, a different look. Now that one doesn't interest me quite as much. I like it when it flows across the plate. Okay, so what we're going to, excuse me for the tickle I've got in my throat. What we're going to do is we're going to put down some ink. And I'm going to brayer it out. And then I'm going to put down my stencil and use deli paper to pick up. And the reason I'm using deli paper is because deli paper goes down into the crevices of the stencil real well. And that one's a little hard to get to. I'm also going to kind of go around it just because I like the sort of floral shape of the edges. And I'm going to take this off, which this gives you an interesting print, but then I'm going to pull this up. Part of the reason that I like to use the inks is that they're more transparent than paint is. So when you use the ink like it's paint, you get sort of a see-through layer. So if you're working with something, let's just use a piece of paper that's already got something on it. I have this, no, let's not use that one. Let's use one of these. This one will be good. I have this paper, and I'm going to get out a mark making tool of some sort. Let's go for this. It will be easy to see. And if we put, even if we put this dark color down on the pad, on the plate, what's going to happen is that we'll be able to see more of the colors that we already had on the paper through the ink. Because it's just that much more translucent. I think I have another one that's similar in color, so let's try that again and see what happens. Okay, so acrylic inks are more transparent, and therefore they do different things on the Gelli plate. I happen to like the blobby look that adding water to them does create. And once again, you can use multiple techniques on the same project. So that's something to think about. I'm not really excited about them when they won't move across the plate. But at the same time, it gives you another different look that when you add more techniques that you get. With stencils, I really like the fact that you get this transparent kind of thing. Also, it seems like the ink builds up around the edges of the stencil. If you notice, it's where it kind of pulls by the plastic, and I really like that kind of feel to it. But the real reason I like it is that when you use transparent ink and you do your technique of mark making or whatever you want, the ink pulls on the plate a little bit. It's not real smooth. It doesn't lay down like paint. It's just a little different texture. And therefore you get a texture and a depth at the same time. You can see what was behind it much better. And it gives you these kind of textured areas. This is the one where I did the same technique with two different colors, and you can see all of this wonderful texture that's in this piece of paper. So that is using acrylic inks on your plate. I hope this gives you some ideas. All of these videos are little tiny simple techniques, and this one got very long, so I'm sorry about that, to give you more ways to look at your Gelli plate. They're not necessarily finished prints. What they are is techniques that you can add to other techniques. So go have fun, make some art. Bye-bye.